God says, give me just 2 quiet minutes. There is something that your heart needs to remember tonight. Before you move on. Before another notification. Before another worry. Give yourself just 2 quiet minutes. Not because I want to frighten you, but because I want to remind you of something your heart may have forgotten. My beloved child, you have been carrying more than anyone realizes. People see your smile, but they do not always see the silent battles hidden behind it. They hear your voice, but they cannot hear the questions you whisper when no one else is around. I hear them. Every single one. I know the moments when you felt exhausted, not only in your body but in your spirit. I know the nights when you lay awake wondering if tomorrow would finally feel different. Listen carefully. This message is not about fear. It is about hope. It is about remembering that even when life feels uncertain, you are never forgotten. Your body, your mind, and your heart are deeply connected. When your heart carries constant worry, your whole life can begin to feel heavy. That is why tonight I am inviting you to release what you were never meant to carry alone. Take one slow breath. Then another. Notice how your heart begins to settle when you stop trying to solve everything all at once. Peace does not arrive because every problem disappears. Peace begins the moment you remember that you do not face those problems alone. My child, you have been searching for signs, looking for answers, waiting for certainty. But sometimes the answer you need most is not another sign. It is the quiet confidence that you are loved, even in seasons when you cannot see what comes next. Do not measure your future by today's struggles. Storms never last forever. Night always gives way to morning. And hope often begins long before you recognize it. Stay with me for the next few moments, because what you are about to hear may change the way you see this season of your life forever. The quiet strength that has been growing inside you. My beloved child, there is something I want you to understand tonight. You have spent so much time looking for change around you that you have forgotten to notice the change already happening within you. Every challenge has taught you something. Every disappointment has quietly built a strength you never asked for, but deeply needed. There were moments when you believed you would never recover. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still searching for light. That is not weakness. That is courage. And courage does not always look loud. Sometimes courage is simply choosing to get up one more morning, choosing to smile even when life feels uncertain, choosing to believe that tomorrow can still hold something beautiful. My child, stop speaking to yourself only through fear. Listen to the quiet voice of hope. The world will always give you reasons to worry. But I give you reasons to keep believing. Do not let one difficult chapter convince you that your whole story has already been written. The page you are living today is not the final page. There are conversations you have not yet had. There are opportunities you have not yet seen. There are blessings already moving toward your life, even if you cannot recognize them today. Remember, a seed looks lifeless before it becomes a tree. The sunrise is invisible before the sky begins to glow. And hope often begins quietly, long before anyone notices its light. My child, tonight, release the pressure to have every answer. You were never asked to control every outcome. You were only invited to trust the next step. Sometimes the greatest healing does not begin when your circumstances change. It begins when your heart learns to breathe again. So breathe, slowly. Release every fear that has been living inside your thoughts. Release every burden you have carried for too long. You do not have to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Stay with me, because there is still something important your heart needs to hear. You are not carrying this journey alone. My beloved child. Pause for just a moment longer and let your heart become still. There have been days when you questioned whether anyone truly understood the weight you have been carrying. You smiled so others would not worry. You kept moving even when every step felt heavier than the last. No one saw the silent conversations taking place inside your heart. But I did. I have been with you in every moment, not only during your victories, but also during the nights when tears became your only language. You never cried without me noticing. You never whispered a prayer without me hearing it. Even the prayers you could not find the words to speak were never lost. My child. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. Some of the greatest things require time to become strong enough to remain. If everything arrived instantly, you would never discover the strength already growing inside you. Look at your life. You have survived days you once believed would destroy you. Yet somehow, you found another sunrise, another reason to keep going. That strength did not appear by accident. It was being formed one quiet step at a time. Tonight, stop asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Instead ask, what is this season teaching me about hope, about patience, about becoming? That one question can transform the way you see every challenge. My beloved child. Your future has not been written by your fears. It has not been decided by your failures. And it will never be limited by the opinions of people who cannot see the purpose growing inside you. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's. The sunrise never apologizes for arriving at exactly the right moment. Neither should you. There is no need to rush. No need to prove yourself. No need to fear that you have fallen behind. Walk faithfully, one day, one decision, one breath at a time. Because every small step taken with hope is still a step forward. And one day you will look back, not with regret, but with gratitude. You will realize that the hardest seasons were quietly preparing the strongest version of your heart. So remain here just a little longer. Because the next part will reveal why the hope you have been searching for may already be closer than you think. The change you have been praying for often begins within. My beloved child. There is a reason you are still here, listening even now. Perhaps something inside your heart has been searching for a peace that the world could never give. You have tried to carry every burden by yourself. You believed that if you stayed strong long enough, everything would finally become easier. But true strength is not pretending you have no struggles. True strength is knowing when to place those struggles into my hands. My child. Think about how many times you expected the worst, yet somehow the day still ended with enough strength to keep moving forward. That was not luck. That was grace, quietly walking beside you, even on the days you could not feel it. I have never asked you to be perfect. I have never asked you to understand every mystery or solve every problem. I have only asked you to remain faithful, one day at a time. The future will always contain questions. But faith does not grow by knowing every answer. Faith grows by taking the next step, even when the entire path cannot yet be seen. My beloved child. Do not allow today's uncertainty to become tomorrow's fear. Instead, allow today's hope to become tomorrow's courage. Every morning brings a new opportunity to begin again. Not because yesterday never happened, but because you are not meant to remain trapped inside it. Forgive yourself for the moments when you doubted. Forgive yourself for the days when your heart grew tired. Healing often begins the moment you stop fighting against yourself. You have carried enough guilt, enough regret, enough fear. Tonight, lay those burdens down. Take a slow breath. Feel the quiet around you. Notice that in this very moment, you are still here. Still breathing. Still growing. Still becoming. And that means your story is not over. There are conversations you have not yet had. There are smiles you have not yet shared. There are moments of unexpected joy waiting just beyond what you can currently see. Do not close your heart because one season was difficult. The next season may surprise you in ways you never imagined. So walk forward, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. Walk forward knowing that every small step taken with faith is preparing you for something greater than today. Stay with me just a little longer. Because the journey is about to reach its most meaningful moment. The peace you have been searching for has been closer than you think. My beloved child. There is one question I want you to ask yourself tonight. What if the peace you have been searching for has not been far away, but quietly waiting for you to slow down long enough to receive it? You have spent so much of your life running from one responsibility to the next, one worry to another, one unanswered question to the next. And somewhere along the way, your heart forgot how to rest. But tonight, this moment is your invitation to pause. Not because everything has been solved, but because your soul needs rest just as much as your body does. My beloved child. Do not believe that your value depends upon how much you accomplish. You were never created to earn my love. You have always been loved. Even before you felt worthy. Even before you believed you could change. Nothing you have done has surprised me. Nothing has caused me to stop caring for you. When you stumbled, I remained beside you. When you doubted, I remained faithful. When fear filled your thoughts, my love never became smaller. My child. Look around you. There are blessings you once prayed for that have now become part of your everyday life. The breath you are taking now. The sunrise you will see tomorrow. The people who still care about you. The opportunities still waiting to be discovered. Do not let the search for what is missing blind your heart to what has already been given. Gratitude changes the atmosphere of the soul. The moment you begin to notice even the smallest blessing, hope begins to grow again. My beloved child. There will always be voices trying to convince you that you are not enough. Do not listen. Your identity was never meant to be decided by fear. It was never meant to be measured by failure. You are more than your worst day. More than your greatest mistake. More than the opinions of those who never understood your journey. Lift your eyes. Do not keep looking only at the storm. Storms always pass. But the strength you gain while walking through them remains. One day you will realize that this difficult season did not come to destroy your hope. It came to deepen it. It came to teach you that even when life feels uncertain, you are never walking alone. Stay with me just a little longer. Because the next part will remind you why your greatest days may still be waiting just ahead. A new chapter can begin tonight. My beloved child. As you listen, there is one truth I do not want you to forget. You have spent too much time believing that your future will look exactly like your past. But your past was never meant to become your permanent address. It was a chapter, not the entire story. Do not build your expectations around yesterday's disappointments. Build them around today's hope. Every sunrise carries possibilities that yesterday could never offer. My child. There are moments when you ask, why am I still waiting? The answer is not always because nothing is happening. Sometimes the waiting is preparing your heart to receive what is coming. Imagine receiving every blessing before you were ready. Would it truly become a blessing? Or would it become a burden too heavy to carry? That is why patience is never wasted. Every season has its purpose. Every delay has its lesson. Every quiet moment has something to teach. Do not be afraid of slow progress. Strong foundations are built one stone at a time. My beloved child. Tonight, choose to release every burden that has stolen your joy. Release the guilt that belongs to yesterday. Release the fear that belongs to tomorrow. Remain here in this moment. This moment is where peace begins. Not because every question has been answered, but because your heart has decided to trust again. Trust does not remove every challenge. Trust changes the way you walk through them. The storm may still exist, but fear no longer controls your steps. My child. There are people whose lives will be brighter because of your kindness. There are conversations you have not yet had that will bring healing. There are opportunities you cannot yet imagine already moving closer each day. Never believe that your life has no purpose. Every act of love, every encouraging word, every quiet prayer, creates a difference far beyond what your eyes can currently see. As this night draws to a close, take one more deep breath. Let peace fill your thoughts. Let hope strengthen your heart. Let gratitude become your first response when tomorrow begins. Walk into the new day, not expecting a perfect life, but expecting new strength, new wisdom, new mercy, and new opportunities to grow. Because every new beginning starts with one simple decision: to believe again. Stay with me just a little longer. Because the final message will bring everything together and remind you why your greatest hope has never left you. Walk forward with hope. My beloved child. Before this message comes to its close, I want these final words to remain in your heart not only tonight, but tomorrow and in the days ahead. Life will continue to bring unexpected moments. Some days will fill your heart with joy. Others will ask you to be patient. Do not let one difficult day convince you that hope has left your life. Hope has never left you. Sometimes it simply waits quietly for your heart to notice that it has been there all along. My beloved child. Do not be afraid of beginning again. Every sunrise is proof that new beginnings are possible. Yesterday does not have the authority to decide who you become tomorrow. You are not defined by your worst mistake. You are not defined by your greatest disappointment. You are defined by the courage to rise again every single time. That courage already lives inside you. Remember how many storms you have already survived. How many nights you thought you would never overcome. Yet somehow, morning came. Strength returned. And another chapter began. The same hope that carried you then will carry you now. My child. When fear knocks at your heart, do not invite it to stay. Welcome peace instead. When doubt begins to whisper, answer it with faith. When the future feels uncertain, take only the next faithful step. You do not need to see the entire road. One step taken with trust is enough for today. There are people whose lives will become brighter because you chose kindness. There are hearts that will find hope because you refuse to give up. Never think your life has no purpose. Even your smallest act of compassion can become someone else's reason to believe again. Tonight, before you rest, release every burden you have carried. Release every fear that has stolen your peace. Release every regret that belongs to yesterday. Tomorrow is a new gift. Walk into it with gratitude. Walk into it with courage. Walk into it with hope. And whenever you begin to feel alone, remember this truth. You are deeply loved. You are never forgotten. You are never beyond the reach of God's grace. His peace can strengthen your heart. His wisdom can guide your decisions. His love can remind you that every new day carries another opportunity to grow, to forgive, to believe, and to begin again. If this message encouraged your heart today, take a quiet moment to thank God for His constant love. And if you know someone who needs hope, share this message with them. You never know how one act of kindness may become the answer to someone else's silent prayer. Until we meet again, may your heart remain steady. May your mind find peace. May your days be filled with wisdom, grace, and quiet confidence. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep moving forward. Because your story is still being written, and some of its most beautiful chapters may still be waiting just ahead.